So from the last video, I have taken the motor out just to dress up and modify some of the stuff to get in. I just had to put it in to get a cool photo of the ute, but taking it back out, had to chop off the factory engine mount block, and that's pretty much exactly where this fuel pump sits, so I don't even need to chop any more out of the cross member. I just had to chop that off, and this pretty much sits just a little bit off the cross member, which is very handy. And I've painted the front engine plate and shaped it. So originally it was a box, looked pretty ugly, so I've painted it and gone through and shaped it all so it looks kind of normal. Mounted the alternator. It's very sturdy, which is good. So it has a long bolt that goes straight through to the engine plate, and you can squeeze the belt really hard and that alternator does not move, which is good. So I shouldn't have to worry about alternator belts flying off. So at the moment I've just been doing wiring, as this is the next thing I've got to do before I can get it back into the ute. I do have one fuel pressure sensor up here on the blower, and there's a lot of sensors. So I've got oil pressure, water temperature, there's a map sensor which is for the boost, air intake is down under there as well. I installed the MSD cam sync. Under here I've got two wires for the starter motor, because these MCFRY starter motors draw big amps on the switch, so you need around 25 amps to activate the solenoid with these starters, which is a lot different to the other starters where you can just run a little pencil wire to the solenoid, where these require heavy duty sort of switch to arm them. So I've got two wires here because I'm going to use up 2 pins on the firewall plug, because I think pretty sure the contacts on the firewall plug were only rated at I think 13 amps from memory, or 16, can't really remember. So I'm going to use 2 pins for the starter motor. There's a wire here that this turns the alternator on and off. So this wire, the yellow wire here, needs to see 12 volt, and that's what gets the alternator charging. So that wire there is going to get ran to the back of the kill switch. There's 4 prongs, and once the kill switch is turned off, it can actually, you can set it up so that it can also turn off a circuit. So I'm going to have that turn off the alternator, which is a safety thing for drag racing and stuff. Like when you, like the way that the tech inspectors want it is you turn that key off. They don't want the alternator charging, because if you turn the key off, the engine will still run. So they want it, so you turn that off, it's going to cut all the power to everything. So it'll turn the alternator off and turn the battery off, so then the engine can shut down. And yep, so I'm just going to go through and neaten up all this wiring, put fancy braid and stuff on it, and get it all snug around here into the plug. And I'll just have to drill a hole somewhere around there, mount it through. So I'm going to get stuck into this, and I'll be back when it's... Okay, so I finally got it all done. Took a while. It's just very fiddly, and just wanted to make sure I got everything in the right slot. So pretty much used all bar 3 of the pins in the firewall plug, and it's probably gonna sit around there and just plug in the firewall. That one there goes up to the blower fuel pressure, and yeah, everything else is done. So I'm going to mark this hole out, just grab some measurements off the back of that. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around this area. I'm going to get this hole done, and then I'm going to put this motor back in, and then put the blower back on top. Well, I've got the motor back in, and yeah, everything's fitting up, which is good. I've got a hole in the wall, firewall there for the plug, so it's very tight back there, but I'll soon make it work. And this was too short, so I had to cut it and extend it, so that was like another 25 minutes or so just to get that extended. So there's like 1 mil of clearance between the wiper and the rock cover, but 1 mil is better than none. And that's pretty much it. Broom broom. Right, so I've got first pipe done. Just using the ladder to hold the collector where I want it. Right about there. And I've literally just done the first pipe. And the second, the one at the back, literally is just going to come straight down and across. There's just no other room to do it any other way. So they're definitely not going to be equal length, but they're going to be massive headers. So makes up for it. There's still got a lot to go. So it's Wednesday now, so I've just pretty much dummied up the pipes down here just to do some welding. I'm not the master of TIG welding, but I'm TIG welding these pipes. And sometimes I don't think ahead and I don't take the paint off, and the weld just turns out like crap. So I'm going to make sure I actually clean the surface from here on in, and I just want to get these kind of tacked up so they don't move. And then I'm going to pull the collector off, because this is just a slip-on collector. Pull that off, and then I just have these bolted to the other side flange at the moment, and then I'll just weld in each individual pipe in the shed, in the vise. Be a lot easier than trying to do it all together like this. So I just need to I've got to weld a little thing on here to pull that slip-on collector on, and then I've also got the EGT bungs, which I've got to weld in the top. So what I'll probably do for that is I'll just put one pipe on, and I'll put one EGT on, get it on the right angle, and then I'll put the pipe back on here, and then I'll just match the rest up so they're all the same sort of thing. Yep, so that's where I'm at. I've only done one pipe so far. The other side's going to be heaps easier because there's a lot more room. This one I had to try and lift this pipe up because the radial tune suspension, the chassis brace comes through here. It's still going to hit this, but at least how I've moved that up, I can kind of modify that bar so it'll go around it, because I want that support on the chassis, because there's not really much else up the front of the ute besides those and the engine plates. So I'm going to keep chipping away at these. Alright, so I had a shit of a time getting this header done. So the biggest mistake I made is I should have cleaned everything before I tacked it all into place, because up here around these flanges there was shit in there, and no matter how hard I tried to get in there to clean it out, I couldn't, and the TIG would not do it, so I had to MIG it, which sucks. Overall I had the same problem throughout the whole pipes where nothing was cleaned, so TIGging everything was a nightmare. So on the next pipe I will make sure it's clean. But this header is now done, at least, and I'm glad it's done because I'm over it. Alright, so I finally got this pipe done. It is tea time again. And this side actually turned out really nice the way I did this. So this header will be pretty close to this line that I put in here. So I'll probably just put some heat shield on that, or maybe get a sharper bend, maybe just run it through here, because that is closer than I'd like it to be to that pipe, but I didn't really have many options. So same with the fuel pump up there. I'll show you from the top, but very tight in there. That is how that went. That pipe there is really close to that fuel pump. I'll put it down and go to the top. So top angle, you can see that pipe is going, try to make it go around the fuel pump. Very difficult. So the fitting in there is less than a centimetre away from the pipe. This camera doesn't want to light it up too well, does it? Anyway, so I might have to get a ORB fitting to go straight onto the pump rather than having the little adapter and then that 90-degree bend. So I've still got to drill out the EGT bungs. So, but obviously I'm going to do that tomorrow because it's dark now. But I'll get the EGT bungs done while it's in the car, so I get the right angle and make them all match. And this is where I've been cutting up pipe. There's like a million little offcuts on the floor and a heap on the bench, so it's made a bloody mess. So that's it, but I'll come back tomorrow and I'll see where I'm at. Alright, so I've got the other side done. I ended up just giving up on the TIG and just using the MIG welder for a lot of this side because I just started losing my shit with that TIG welder. So I'm not a fan of TIG welding. So they're done, and I just got to pull the pipes off that side, and then I'm going to go send them off to get coated, ceramic coated. But now I've got to put this blower pulley on MCFRY and pretty much just finish loading the trailer up and get excited for Power Play Sydney. So I just got my headers back from getting the ceramic coated, and they look really good, even though that there's a good chance this thing's probably going to destroy the coating anyway. It's just good to have something on the pipes. And I've literally just been plodding away at doing stuff under here. I've ran the Scavenge hose to the top of the dry sump tank. This is the oil pump, the feed hose, which I haven't done yet because I'm waiting on a fitting. And I've just put in the 3 Scavenge fittings just to kind of work out how I'm going to make all this, try and squeeze in here, which is very tight. Also the fuel pump needs a fitting coming down through under here as well, so if I can't manage to squeeze all that in there, this dash 16 Scavenge is probably going to have to go over this side, and same with the oil feed. I might just have to run them both over here and then just have them come up. Very tight. And up on the top side here, I've got the coils wired in on both sides. I haven't done the leads as of yet. I would have loved to have had these hidden somewhere, but there is literally just nowhere else for them to go, so they had to go on the inner guard right there. And what I'm going to do now is probably put one of the EGTs in the pipe and just get it at the right height, like make sure not too much is hanging through, just so I have like a little bit of a measurement to go off. And then I'm going to install the headers back on, and from there I don't really have extremely a lot to do. I'm just waiting on some more hoses and fittings really. I have a little bit more wiring to do, but I've nearly knocked it all over. I did install some new headlights as well, because the other ones, I had 3 of them that blew. They were just that old, surprisingly. So I'm just going to keep chipping away at this. And if you have been following me on Facebook, I am taking this ute to Brashernats on the weekend, so I'm just going to try and get it as near complete as I can, and then get it all loaded up. I'll make sure everything's sealed up properly and stuff, and I'm going to take it to Brashernats, enter it in the show and shine just so everyone can have a look at it. And yeah, and then it's so close to starting, it really sucks. I wish I could start it, but I can't. So I'm really honestly reckon maybe another week and a half, just because of the mail being slow. But once I get the rest of the fittings to block everything off and run the rest of the hoses, it's nearly ready to start. So alright, so it's been about 9 days since Brashernats, since the last video I had. So I'm just going to show you guys where I'm at. Still haven't got my hose fittings, believe it or not. So I'll start with this. These are the mufflers for the ute. They're tiny, they're Vibrant brand, they're like header collector, like a low profile shibby muffler. So I'm pretty much welding that straight onto the collector, and oval exhaust, 45-degree bend, and then I'm just going to have side pipes coming out the sides. Should be just behind the doors. So I'm going to be working on that. Currently installing these to hold the straps, and the straps are there so if you have a blower backfire and the blower wants to go to the moon, the straps are going to stop it from going to the moon or going through the windscreen. So I'm just about to do the other side. I laser etched the rock covers, got Brad's race engines on there, and then MCFRY Motorsport, and I also installed the burn down breathers. And I'm going to block up, I bought bungs for here, so just got a burn down breather on both sides. Water pump ended up going here on the inner guard. There was just nowhere else to put it. I tried putting it down the bottom, but it's just too tight. So I'm going to have the hose come out from the bottom, and it's going to go into the bottom of the radiator down here. So I'm just going to have like a U-bend come under the chassis, and then up. I'll get the camera in there, right there. So, and it's going to come under the chassis, and then yeah, right there. So just like a little U-bend sort of hose, and then yeah, one day when I get my hose fittings, I can move on with that. I went over to Warhorse over at Rutherford. Matthew Butler got him to weld 2 12AN bungs on the radiator. He also we turned that fitting down there because it was facing that way, so we just turned it down so I can make it go under the rail. So smashed it out for me pretty quick, and I've also done all the wiring now. Everything is done, all the leads, Installed a ground from the battery to the back of the head, just so you can never have enough grounds, apparently, as I've been told. This is a breather tank, which I'm going to clean up a bit because it's pretty filthy. And I was thinking of just mounting this somewhere in here, that way. Somewhere where I can drain it under the bottom, so I'm going to have to lift it up to find the spot for that. And that's just going to be a breather tank for the dry sump tank. Just like the vapors and stuff will go in there, and then yeah, whatever else. Nothing really new inside, but I do have everything wired up, which is super exciting. Also, I got these steelies. These steelies are from Custom Steel Wheels. I got them made. They're 15 by 10 with 3-inch backspace, and I put a 275/30 tire on at the moment. So they're going to be sort of my fun skid sort of wheels for the ute. I didn't want the wheels sitting in too far because it'll make it handle like crap. So I wanted wheels that are going to be more outbound, and the ute's going to handle a lot better. So I'm not planning on blowing tires off. I'm just planning on like drifting and stuff in the ute. So, and that's a perfect sort of wheel. Should have good grip as well. So nice and low profile, so they'll handle really nice. Depending on how the throttle is on this thing, which I'm assuming is going to be like really touchy, so it's going to be hard to drive anyway. I did set all this up here too. So it's throttle cable. It's just like a universal, I think Specco brand it is. Universal cable. And I've just set it up so from there to there's full throttle. I'm pretty new with these, but I'll get the hang of it pretty quick once I get it running. It's good having all the EGTs and widebands, all that stuff, so it's something that can kind of tune on the run sort of thing, which is nice. But yeah, I'm just going to have the butterflies open to there, which is like freaking plenty. It's probably too much, but from there to there is full throttle. I just set this up roughly so that the it's going to be hard to explain this one, but yeah, there's like a little tiny V for the idle circuit, and once that's wide open then it's completely open. And I'm assuming you can just get a longer one of these to change the fuel curve for like light and part throttle, that sort of thing. Like obviously when that's open that much, the thing will probably want to be bashing off the rev limiter, just go into there. But obviously if there's not enough fuel in from that slight movement, then it's just going to be running lean like that. So it's something I'm going to have to wait until I've got it running. But you can get an extended one of these, and what it'll do is it'll make the more fuel come in at part throttle. For example, like just moving it that far, it'll make that open a lot more, which will give it a lot more fuel at that part throttle. But I'm new with that too, so but I'll figure it out once I get it running. What else have we done? You know what I might do? I might put this up on the hoist and we'll have a look underneath. Okay, so a quick little look underneath. Headers are all coated, installed, look very nice. I did ding them when I got it out the trailer at Brashernats, because the rear door on my trailers, the way it was installed was stupid. So my exhaust hit the rear door when we were pushing it out, so I had two massive dings in them, but I just straightened them out basically. Here's my oil temperature sensor bung, but yeah, once again still waiting on these goddamn fittings. so not too much going on under there. I'm just gonna sit this on. I was literally just gonna weld this bad boy. Boom. Straight in there like that. And then maybe try and get this angled upwards or something like that. Or I might actually have to try and extend that out. Not too sure on that yet, but I'll figure that out. I did buy these, so I can extend them out a little bit. I'll do that after I finish doing these strap things. Still got 2 more of them to do. So I'm just going to call this a video because it's starting to drag on a bit. So yeah, once I get these goddamn fittings, it's the Aeroflow fittings, and I got them from Spares Box, and for some reason when you buy stuff from there, they just I don't know, it's like they don't have them, and then they got to try and get them in, and then for some reason it takes like weeks to get them in. But I've been waiting a month now, so patience is wearing thin. So hopefully they come soon. If not, I'll just get the order cancelled and I'll get some elsewhere, just so I can get this freaking thing done, because I want to make the Street Outlaws event, so which is next month, and still got to get this thing on a dyno and stuff as well. So yeah, but it's coming along good. So hopefully the next video will be this thing idling started, and maybe even on the dyno. So, but for now, thanks for watching, and hopefully have a better video for you guys shortly. Peace out.